Imagine a permanent human outpost, but not in space, under the ocean. Well, that's not science fiction anymore. A company called Deep is launching one of the most ambitious projects on Earth to make it a reality. So let's dive in and see how they're planning to pull this off.
It's a question that feels like it's straight out of a novel, right? I mean, we've conquered land, we're reaching for the stars, but what about the huge unexplored world right here on our own planet? This whole project is about turning the ocean into humanity's next great frontier.
And now, we're not talking about some fantastical underwater city just yet. We're talking about a very real, very tangible goal: permanent subsea human habitation. You know, the kind of thing that could fundamentally change how we study, protect, and just interact with our oceans.
So the initiative making this all happen, it's called Project Vanguard. And you should really think of it as an underwater version of the International Space Station, a base camp for ocean exploration, where a crew can live and work for long stretches of time, completely immersed in their environment.
Now, to give you a sense of just how big a deal this is, think about this number: 40 years. For decades, these kinds of ambitious projects for crewed underwater living have been pretty much dormant, stalled by different scientific priorities, technological hurdles. For 40 years, this frontier has basically been on hold. Project Vanguard is the first of its kind to be built since then.
Okay, so let's get into the specifics. What exactly is Project Vanguard, and what makes it the cornerstone of this new vision for living underwater? At its core, Vanguard is a habitat designed to house a crew of 4 people, and they can stay down there for missions that last a week, maybe even longer. And all this groundbreaking work is happening in Florida, which is quickly becoming the global hub for this whole operation.
And look, this isn't just about planting a flag on the ocean floor. Vanguard has some incredibly diverse, real-world applications. We're talking about critical scientific research with unprecedented access, hands-on coral reef restoration, and get this, even training astronauts. I mean, why, right? Well, because the crushing pressure and the total isolation of the deep sea is about the closest thing on Earth you can get to outer space.
An ambition this huge requires some serious resources, and that's exactly what's happening. There's a massive new investment that's fueling Deep's expansion right here in the United States, turning this incredible vision into a very well-funded reality.
And make no mistake, this is not some temporary experiment. Deep is putting down deep roots, establishing a permanent presence in the U.S. to support not just Vanguard, but everything that's going to come next. And here's the number that makes that permanent presence possible: $100 million. That's the capital being committed to this expansion. It's a figure that just proves how serious this effort is to completely revolutionize our relationship with the ocean. So this investment is being channeled into 2 key locations. You've got Florida as the engineering and development hub, the beating heart as they call it, and then over in Houston, Texas, that's going to be home to a state-of-the-art manufacturing facility where they'll bring it all to life.
Deep COO Kristen Tertoli, she puts it perfectly. She really emphasizes that Florida isn't just some construction site, it's the central nervous system for their engineering and testing, where the most critical work is going to happen.
Of course, you can't build the future alone, right? A project of this magnitude needs world-class specialists, and Deep has assembled a true dream team of industrial partners to get it done.
First up is Triton Submarines. Now, if you know anything about deep-sea exploration, you know this name. These guys are the masters of building vehicles that can withstand incredible pressures, and their expertise is absolutely critical to keeping the crew safe down there.
Next is Bastion Technologies. They're bringing aerospace-grade engineering to the table. And this is so crucial because building a habitat for the deep ocean requires the same exact level of precision, safety, and reliability as building a spacecraft. There is just no room for error.
And finally, we have Unique Group. These are the experts in marine operations. They handle all the practical, hands-on challenges of actually working in the ocean. The logistics, the deployment, the day-to-day management that makes a project like this even possible.
The CEO of Triton Submarines, Patrick Leahy, he captures the spirit of this partnership perfectly. He calls it a new era in subsea technology, which just highlights that this isn't some small incremental step forward. This is a giant leap.
So, with the funding, the facilities, and the dream team all in place, it's time to zoom back out, because this was never about building just one habitat. As Deep's Chief Technology Officer Norman Smith makes it crystal clear, Vanguard isn't the end goal, it's the beginning. The grand vision is to build an entire ecosystem that enables a permanent human presence under the sea.
So, the crucial point to take away from all of this is pretty simple. That $100 million investment, the new facilities, the all-star partnerships, they are all just the building blocks. This is the foundation for a future where humanity can live and work in the ocean, sustainably and permanently.
Which leaves us with one final, kind of provocative thought. For centuries, we've looked up to the stars as our next home, but with projects like Vanguard laying all this groundwork, maybe we should also be looking down. Is the ocean floor our true final frontier?